Hi everyone, it's Rabbi Briskin with a thought for Shabbat. If you spent any time at Jewish summer camp or with the Jewish youth group or even eaten a meal with us at Shir Me, you may remember the lengthy blessing that we say at the end of the meal called Birkat Hamazon. Unlike the one-liner motzi that we say before we eat, Birkat Hamazon takes a couple minutes to recite. It's very long for a prayer, quite frankly, and it just keeps us in that mindset of being grateful for all that we had just eaten and experienced over the course of our meal. Now the source, the proof text for Birkat Hamazon comes from this week's Torah portion called Ekev, in the book of Deuteronomy. And the text reads, Ve'achalta v'savata uverachta et Adonai Elohecha al ha'aretz hatova asher natan lach. You shall eat, you shall be satisfied, and you shall bless Adonai your God for the good land that God is giving you. Now our rabbis teach in a midrash, a rabbinic story, about that verse. We eat, yes. We're satisfied, yes. Why then do we bless? Well, the midrash comes from the time of Abraham. Because as we know about Abraham and Sarah, they were known for welcoming guests into their home. And one day, some visitors appeared to their tent, and they did not know the God of Abraham. Now, as Abraham was wont to do, he prepared a feast for them, the finest meats and produce and drink. And at the end of the meal, Abraham asked them, Achalta? Did you eat? Well, yes, they replied. Vesavata? Are you satisfied? Are you full? Well, yes, they replied. All right, Abraham said, then let's bless. Well, then these visitors looked at him stone-faced. They had no idea what he meant, and so they just retired to their room. The next morning, as they were getting ready to leave, Abraham presented them a bill for their meal. The visitors couldn't believe it. But Abraham, you're known for your hospitality. You brought all of this finery on us as an expression of your generosity, and now you're going to give us a bill? Well, why, yes, said Abraham. Well, why? What did we do wrong? They asked. Well, none of this food and drink appeared out of thin air, did it? Oh, no, they replied. Well, where did it come from? Abraham asked. Well, we don't know. Well, you ate and you were satisfied, but you weren't able to bless and thank God for the source of your nourishment? Now the visitors understood and accepted the God of Abraham as their God. Ve'achalta v'savata uverachta. They ate, they were satisfied, and they blessed. Today it's easy for us to go into the market to pick up prepared foods and not even think about how it got from its source to our table. And that's why we bless. It really is a miraculous process that occurs every day through our ecosystem and our transport system that allows grain to grow and be turned into bread, that allows fruits and vegetables to grow and be harvested and be shipped to our stores. Of course, there is biology and chemistry and human labor and heavy machinery. All of this is part of the process that gets food from the earth to our table. But the ultimate source of it all begins with God. And that's why we thank God for the food, the land, the people who harvest, all those who are part of this process of helping us to eat. And in this time of COVID especially, we are doubly, triply grateful for all those who work in food processing, from meat packers to farmers, to those who work in the fields, to truckers who get food from the place where it is grown and produced and processed into our supermarket shelves, into our hands, and eventually into our homes. We thank them for putting their lives on the line and for keeping us hungry and satisfied. So we eat, we are satisfied,